back 10 years ago when Microcell or ClearNet started, they didn't have that benefit. We're in the final days of testing that roaming proposition. That will be available to our customers.
Would that agreement with roaming with Rogers be affected by the fact that Rogers sees you as a big threat at the same time? It's kind of...
We're not allowed to confirm that it's with
oh, okay, sorry.
What would you say to the customers that are currently with Rogers or Bell that would like to be a Wind Mobile customer, but they're locked into a contract? And what would you say to those people?
When your contract is about to come up, give us a chance to win your business. Give us a chance to earn your business. That's what we want to say to Canadians today.
How much of a hit was it to not be able to launch in November? We've obviously lost the critical season here before Christmas. Certainly millions of dollars.
I mean, we don't feel like we've lost. Obviously, we planned to launch mid-November. Obviously, that would have been better. I think we were pretty vocal about how we felt about that situation. But we're here today, and we're ready to give Canadians a real new choice in wireless.
And how much of a hit was it?
Yeah, I mean, clearly we kept hundreds of people on staff, and as we tried to work through the regulatory issue, there was a lot of stress and anxiety, and the team that we've got has just been exceptional. But the thing to think about is when you build this infrastructure, we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars of investment. It's not 4 or 6 months. We are intending to be here for years. We're not in here to be sold. All of us have experience operating companies, and we're here to build a business. So we see that as a bit of a speed bump, but definitely now we're over that speed bump and we're plowing ahead.
So you're not going to quantify the losses over the last 4 quarters?
I'll take a few on it.
It's substantial. I mean, there's 800 people ready to go.
800 people that you're hiring, a month and a half in advance. So that's definitely a cost. The capital had been deployed, and clearly we were taking a big risk there.
We kept moving forward in that regulatory uncertainty. I think when a lot of people would have slowed down, we kept moving ahead. We always believed we could make this happen.
For themselves, what they're going to do. It wasn't directed. We didn't take attendance. They came up with the ideas. They engaged in the community. The feedback from them is, even when we launch in other cities, they want to do the same thing, to engage with the communities before we actually launch the service. So it wasn't a waste of those resources at all. It was great to have them in the community and helping them. It's very cool.
Are there any plans to have some data plans a little bit less than the $35 option?
We talked about it all morning, and it's a really good question in another sense as well. This isn't the end. So we didn't start the conversation a year ago to have a conversation for a year and go, thank you very much, we're done. So if customers want different pricing, if they don't like what we have, if they want faster speeds, lower prices, more value, those things, we're listening to customers. This is the start of the conversation. So if customers want different prices, we'll come up with different prices.
And don't you think it's going to be hard to compete with Rogers and Bell when they have iPhone, the big phones that people want?
We're going to have, obviously, we're going to increase the amount of devices we have over time. We're certainly not afraid to compete with them. The business plan we have, the team we've put together, the experience we have competing with them here in the Canadian marketplace for the last 10 years, we're certainly going right at them now and giving Canadians a new choice in wireless.
But the reason people go to Fido and Pluto and those guys is because they can't get an iPhone, they can't get whatever, so they'll settle for the cheaper phone. But what they wouldn't mind is a big company that has better plans, and they can get an iPhone or a phone free or whatever they want.
The range that we've got in handsets, if you think about where we were, I think even the PCS guys who launched 10 years ago, they had 3 or 4 handsets. iPhone certainly didn't exist. It's only existed most recently. So I think the thing you have to bear in mind is it's going to be a dynamic range of handsets that we've got. The Blackberry device that we've got here is an excellent device. The HTC device are selling very, very well. So the iPhone, yes, it's one thing, but it's not a one-phone market. The market changes over time, and I think you're going to find devices are going to change and become better. You're going to see Google devices, and you're going to see something else new in the next few months. And we're for sure going to be well positioned to put that in our range of handsets.
We've got the network infrastructure. We're building the network infrastructure to support the data speed the Canadians want.
And we've had the conversations with the manufacturers, and now that we're launched and we're operating and we're with customers, then the conversation with them becomes much, much easier. So almost all of the manufacturers and the chipsets with the manufacturers are going to AWS. So it's a matter of a few quarters before we'll have these devices.
You're not just selling wireless access, you're also selling hardware. Will you, like some of the other hardware companies, be offering warranties, and what's the pricing on those? Because if you're, spending $500 on a handset, I want to make sure it's not going to break.
Yeah, no, exactly. So we've got a return policy, so we can go through some of that detail. It's on the website as well. So we do have a return policy for our handsets, and we've also got a return and repairs warranty for up to a year for the handset itself. And then the insurance programs we haven't launched yet. We're going to see how the first couple of months go with the handsets that we've got, and then we'll be launching the insurance policy.
Are you anticipating the big three to react quickly to your offering?
Well, I think they reacted 6 months ago, yeah.
A year ago, they did repricing, trying to build up. The Canadians remember the experiences they've had. And we've had conversations with tens of thousands of Canadians about the experiences they've had. And memories are not that short-lived. So there's a lot of momentum in our favor right now, and we're going to take advantage of that and offer Canadians a new experience.
Can you just clarify that if people want to bring their own phones onto your network, they've got to be AWS compatible, right? Not all GSM phones will work, right?
Correct. It needs to be AWS, yeah.
You need to operate 2100. Exactly.
So I'm here with Chris, and you are the...
Chief Customer Officer. So sales, marketing, branding, comm, that kind of stuff.
So you did the announcement plans. One question I actually had was, do you have a Blackberry device?
Yep. Blackberry.
Are you supporting Blackberry Enterprise services?
Not for launch, no. So it's biz servers for launch, and then we'll move into the corporate probably 6 months later.
Now, you always talked about not charging for extras.
Yeah.
All the other carriers charge a fee if you want to have Blackberry server access.
Yeah.
Are you going to be... You don't know, obviously, but probably not?
Typically, like I said, if it doesn't cost us something, we don't charge for it. So in that case, it would be no, but I don't actually know that is kind of cost structure.
Okay, well that's the main question I had, and I'm obviously looking forward to what you're launching down the road. Handset-wise, obviously start off with 4 handsets is a good start,
Yeah.
but I'm waiting to see what cool devices are coming out soon.